What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there crushing it on the tables. We have not done a cash game analysis in about 2 weeks, so I think we are due for that. This is our cash game from last night. $286 up, 864 hands. We are going to jump into this cash game as well as some more from the last 10 days. We didn't have any real high volume sessions. Most of them are under 1,000 hands, but we should have some good hands to look at. Let's jump right into it. First hand we're looking at is Ace King offsuit at the 50 NL table. We are playing from under the gun +2. We get a min bet from under the gun +1, and we put in a 3 bet to $3.50, 3.5x. Full draw to the small blind, who puts in a 4 bet. Under the gun +1 folds, and decision is on us. We know that this player is recreational, only 455 hands on this player. Plays relatively fishy numbers, pretty aggressive, has a high 3 bet and 4 bet percentages, and is relatively short stacked right here. So I think this is a great spot to just be getting the chips in right here and possibly realizing some fold equity. So I jam all in, and we do get a call. It is pocket nines against Ace King. Flop is queen high, but we river an ace and take that one down. Next hand we're looking at, we have pocket nines. We are playing from under the gun +1, and we open raise to 3x. This is at a 100 NL table. The big blind makes a call. The big blind is a pretty tight, becoming a regular player, does not bet very much at all, but also doesn't fold very much post flop. And since this player does not fold very much, they're probably going to be chasing a lot of these draws, so we can bet pretty strong here, knowing that this player will be calling pretty much the whole way. And we have a very good hand right here with the middle set. So I bet 4 on the flop, we get a call. We turn the full house. Our opponent checks. I bet 918, which is 2/3 pot, and our opponent calls again. The river is the 3 of clubs, does not improve many hands. Let's try to get something like a pair of 10s or possibly another pair to make a call here. A lot of the draws missed, so we're not going to get calls from those. But let's make an affordable bet on the river that we could get a pair to call with. And we make it 23, and our opponent does make a call, and we take down that pot of almost 80 bucks with a full house. Now let's take a look at some pocket aces at the 200 NL table. Folds to the hijack seat, who open raises to 2x, $4, and we 3 bet here, make it 14, 3.5x the open raise. We get a call on the button, and we get a call from the hijack player. There is $45 in the pot. Flop is rainbow 10 high. Hijack checks, and I put in a bet a little bit smaller than half pot right here, $20. We get a call from the button, and the hijack folds. The turn is the queen of clubs, and we lead out for $30 this time. I think this turn bet could have been a little bit larger. I think we missed out on some value there. But the 6 of spades does not improve many hands. There is the possibility of an 8-7. I think that's the only hand that was really improved right here. But our opponent has called every street so far, so they probably do have a hand that they will probably call with on the river to a small bet, since that's what we have been doing the whole time, and why should things change now? But we do get a fold, and we take down this pot of $145. That was a little bit of a different play with the aces. We kind of slowed down and tried to extract as much value as possible. I'm not really sure what this player would be calling with the whole way and then folding on the river. Maybe something like pocket jacks. It's the only thing I can really think of. Let me know what you guys think about this hand and how it was played. Would there have been a different line that we could have extracted more value? Do you think we could have checked the river to try to extract more value? It's always good to think about different ways to play the hand and hear what other poker players have to say. So if you guys do have any suggestions or comments, leave those in the comment section below. Now we're looking at pocket queens from the button at the 200 NL table. We get an open min raise from middle position, and we get a call from the hijack. The cutoff folds, and we are on the button with queens, putting in a 3 bet, make it $17.50 to go. We get a 4 bet. It's pretty much a min 4 bet here from a fishy player. Doesn't 3-bet that much. It's a small sample size. Is a short stacker. And I think pocket queens are great to play all the way down against a short stacker and against a recreational player. It's pretty strong, but that min value does tell me that our recreational fishy type player probably does have what they believe is a very strong hand, and in this case is the strongest of hands pre-flop. But I do just jam all in. I think a lot of times this player could be playing ace queen like that, ace jack, maybe even pocket jacks, ace king. There's just a lot of hands within this player's range that they could be playing this way, and since we don't know that much about this player, we can't really eliminate a ton of hands from his range. So we get it all in, we get a call. Aces against queens, pretty much just a cooler here. You're going to run into these once in a while, and we're going to be on the opposite end of these probably just as many times. And now we have pocket kings at the 100 NL table. Playing from the hijack seat, we open raise to 3x, and we get 3 bets from the cutoff to $9, 3x our open raise. And we make a call. I think a 4-bet probably would have been a better play here, but we most likely would have gotten a fold from pocket tens. I see that our opponent doesn't have that high of a fold percentage to a 4-bet, and I thought I was giving away too much information from a regular player when I would be 4-betting in this spot, so I decided to just call. Flop is 10 high, 2-tone, 2 clubs on the board. We have the backdoor flush draw, and our opponent bets 2/3 pot on the flop, and I see that our opponent does not fold very often to 3-bets in this spot, and I think there's a good chance that we're going to be seeing hands like jacks, queens, possibly ace queen of clubs in this spot, maybe some ace kings. Ace king of clubs is not going to be in his range because we have the king of clubs, but his low fold to 3-bet on the flop is why I'm 3-betting in this spot. So I make it 37.05, a little bit larger than 3x his bet, and he goes all in. I was pot committed here and do make the call and see that he flop top set. Not a very good spot for us to be in. We are dominated right here. We have a 12% chance to improve to the best hand. The 9 of clubs helps us on the turn, gives us some more flush outs, and we do hit our flush on the river. Runner clubs giving us the nut flush, and we take down the pot of almost $200. We got pretty lucky on that one. Now we're looking at pocket kings once again at the 200 NL table. Folds around to us in the small blind, and we are open raising to 4x here, and our opponent makes a call in the big blind. This looks familiar. This is almost exactly the same. This is crazy. I lead out for $10. Our opponent jams all in for $160, and I don't really remember this hand too well. This one must have been from a little while ago. This was about 6 days ago. But just looking at it real quickly, I see that our opponent, when raising the flop, has only won 29% of showdowns. That is crazy low. So I think he's doing this with a lot of bluffs, with a lot of draws, with a lot of weaker draws. And why would you do this with top set, which is pretty much the nuts right here? You're going to get folds from a ton of hands, unless you know that I have something like kings or aces that I might not get rid of. But even then, I still might get rid of some of those hands. Not the best play to make with as strong of a hand as this player has, but you know what? It's effective, and I could not fold the pocket kings here because I think I saw the 29% one at showdown when raising flop. So I do make the call and see that we're up against top set. This is exactly like the hand we just looked at, and once again I am one card from a flush on the turn, but wind up hitting a king on the river, giving us the higher set and taking down the pot. That was a big pot, $333 going our way. Once again, we got pretty lucky right there. What do you guys think about this hand and the flop bet? Do you think right here this is an easy laydown, even with the read that I had on this player? I think against a lot of players, you just get rid of your hand right here. Was I reading too much into the stats? This is such a wet board with so many draws, and I think this player could have been playing a lot of the draws like this. I don't know why they would have bet so large, or what prompted them to do this large bet. Maybe I have very low fold numbers here, which is not really true when I look at them, but maybe they they have a different sample size against me. Let me know what you guys think about this one down in the comment section below. And now we're going to take a look at the biggest hand over the last 10 days, that being pocket nines at the 200 NL table. We are playing from under the gun, and we open raise to 3x. Playing a little bit short-handed here. We have 7 players being dealt into this hand, and we get a call from under the gun +2, or that could be middle position in this case. We get a call from the button, we get a call from the small blind, and 4 of us see the flop, which we wind up flopping the full house, 9s over deuces. This hand happened about 12 hours ago, and I remember it vividly. I check back on the flop, and we get a bet of $9.50 from Saucy Wizard. Saucy Wizard is a recreational player. We do not have many hands at all, only 7 on this player, but with our hand being so strong, I just make a call right here. The turn is the 5 of clubs. There's $45 in the pot now. I check back, and our opponent bets larger this time, 2/3 pot. So I know that our opponent most likely really likes their hand, which is kind of weird on this board because there's not many draws. There wasn't a lot of action pre-flop. Could this player possibly have a deuce within their range? Maybe. Outside chance though. But I'm going to put in a small bet here to set us up for a river jam. And this is a very callable bet. And if this player is a fishy player, they could be calling with, some low straight draws, ace-3s, ace-4s. Possibly they have something like 10s, jacks that they might call with here. Maybe they have a deuce that they could be making a call with. And they do call. The river's a 10, does not improve many hands, but our opponent has shown that they like whatever cards they have, and they're probably not going to be getting rid of too many hands here. So I jam all in, and we get a call, and see that we're up against pocket aces. Did not see that one coming, and once again, that is why you don't slow play pocket aces pre-flop. And we see this from a lot of recreational players. They think that they have to hide those aces, and if they start 3-betting, everyone's going to know that they have pocket aces, and a lot of times that just isn't the case. There are definitely situations when you don't want to be giving away your hand strength when you do have pocket aces, but I don't think this is one of them where I'm raising under the gun. I most likely have a strong hand, but you let me get there, and you could not find that fold button post-flop, and we take down this pot of $430 with the full house 9s over deuces. Head down to the video description for links to Hold'em Manager, which is the program that I'm using to review my poker sessions. It's also the program I use for my HUD when playing live. If you guys are not using a HUD playing online poker, this is something you must be doing. And you can download the HUD that I use from the link in the video description below. Just click on Hold'em Manager. You can get a 30-day free trial. Click that subscribe button if you guys have not done that yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys can learn something from this video and all the other videos that I'm putting out there, and improve your poker game so you can be making more money on the table. Bankroll update for the 100K challenge is $5,877.71. We are slowly but surely working our way up. Thanks for watching, poker players, and I will be back with a new video very soon. But until then, I will see you guys out on the virtual felt.